That's football. It's Arsenal versus Leeds in the FA Cup, and I'm gonna need a little bit of your help. Because we're going to be talking about the FA Cup draw. We've seen the normal fix by the FA giving Manchester City a home tie yet again. I mean, no, I feel that there is the footballing powers are trying to make Manchester City just win the quadruple or something. They can't do it this year because Liverpool are going to win the league, but the FA Cup is just so bloody easy for Manchester City every bloody time. Home to Port Vale. Have they got Hull this time? But look, we're here for Arsenal versus Leeds. Let's have a look at the team news for Arsenal. Martinez in goal. Luis, Socrates, Holding, Nelson, Guendouzi, Xhaka, Kolasinac, Ozil, Pepe and Lacazette. So Aubameyang either rested or injured. I don't know what the situation is with him. And then Leeds have made a few changes themselves. So I don't know enough about Leeds to know how second strength that is for Leeds. But I'd say Arsenal, they've rested a couple of players, but Pepe's playing, Lacazette's playing, Ozil's playing, Xhaka, Kolasinac. It's not massive changes by Arsenal, quite a strong team, but I don't know in relation to Leeds. If somebody wants to tell me something about Leeds, then please do, and tell me how weak they are. Big Virgil says you're a secret Liverpool fan. I'm anything. You can say Forest if you want because I'm from Nottingham, but Liverpool, you couldn't be more wrong. United have pulled out Watford or Tranmere if they beat Wolves. I saw that one, and I think Liverpool have pulled out Bristol or Shrewsbury. It'd be interesting if Liverpool go with their youth again in that. Leeds is a great town. That doesn't help me any Michael Dunn. I want to know if they have gone with a few changes, but strong team. Keeper making his debut for the first time, says Owen Newell. So there you go. It's a strong Leeds team with a few changes in it. I don't know what Aubameyang's been sold, says Ryan Edwards. I don't think that has. City got Fulham, not Hull, says Career Mode and Chill. Thanks for that. Leeds play good football, says Christian. Good manager, Bielsa. I mean, this is why part of the reason I wanted to do this as a watch along tonight, really, was because it's a good game to do. Leeds are second in the league at the moment. Cape United, they're looking very, very good. Leeds are pretty much their best team out, Mark, says Taylor Sansom. There you go. And I'd say that Arsenal have pretty much got their best team out as well, haven't they? Regarding apart from Aubameyang, who is apparently ill, says Joe Morris and Canme George and Graham Andrew. So and Bernard Reckness. So thank you for letting us know on there. You see, it's not all about me. It's not about me at all. It's about a community. That's what it is. And your intelligence makes the show better. So it's pretty much a strong Leeds team. It's pretty much an Arsenal strong team. So it's pretty much a good what do you call it? A good matchup, which is what we want. We want to see a good matchup. And I hope Leeds win, which is hard to say as a United fan. But because Leeds and United actually do have a rather big rivalry. Having said that, I just think it would be funny if Arsenal lost, because we're the battle of the banter clubs. So, yeah. And Lotus Alex says, hi, it's me from yesterday, the Leeds fan. Well, I'm glad you've joined us, mate. And I hope Leeds win. I don't think they will, though. I think Arsenal will win. But Leeds are on the attack here. It's just like a game of rugby, that. I just turned my head, and it's just very frenetic from Arsenal. So maybe it's this high, frenetic press from Arsenal that we'll see. Again, from an Arsenal point of view, I've got to say I'm interested to see the development of Pepe and also the development of Arteta's Arsenal side, because some Arsenal fans think that they're improving massively. But Leeds with a high press here as well could be in for a good game tonight. Could be in for a good game. What's your score predictions? Get them in the live comments. Liam Jones, I don't know what you're talking about. You need to be less vague and more strong in what you're actually saying. Cape United says Leeds will bottle the league anyway. That's a nice little ball over the top from Leeds there, and I don't know why Holding just let that bounce. It was crap defending, to be honest with you. But Leeds looking to attack, which is what we want to do. Somebody just said that it's 2-0 to Leeds because they're from the future. Azal Habubi says it will be 2-0 to Leeds. And Connor Fahey says, why do you support Manchester United if you're from Nottingham? Yeah, because everybody supports the club that they were born in the city they were born, don't they? That's just how it works. We live in quite a dictatorship in the UK. It's not quite what Hitler wanted to do in Nazi Germany, but you must support the club of the city you were born in. It's a silly question. I've answered it so many times why I support Manchester United, but you don't have to support the city you were born in. What did I have for dinner? Says XIX Tyler. Well, that's a very good question, because I had a vegetarian chili, which was absolutely superb. Compliments to the chef, the wife. It was absolutely brilliant. Sometimes I do like vegetarian food, but you didn't even know there wasn't meat in it. I said, you've put meat in it, haven't you? But it wasn't. It was like lentils and cauliflower and everything. It was banging. And tomorrow night I'm having a proper meat lasagna, so that's a good start to the week. But Leeds, I would say at the moment, giving as good as they're getting, enjoying it, playing some good football. They picked up a foul there by Guendouzi, so we might be getting a good game on our hands here. 3-3 and a good game of football, says Christian Ulison. Let's wait and see. Please do subscribe to the channel if you're new, bottom right hand corner, and share the video. We are building this community out at the moment, and I'm really enjoying it, and we'll be building it out all season to the Euros, where my plan is to do every single game on the Euros as a watch along. I don't know when they're releasing the fixtures for the Euros, by the way. Maybe they've already done it, but that is the plan. And Jan says he's back at school tomorrow and he's dead. A lot of people went back today, didn't they? And that's a decent whipped in cross there, and I think that should have been a corner, but it's not. It's come off Bamford's head. Bamford, I don't know whether he's on loan at Leeds or he actually bought him. He used to be at Chelsea. He was quite well thought of. If I'm thinking of the right guy, he was bought by Chelsea from Forest as about an 18-year-old for £1 million, and he barely played for Forest. And then I think he went on loan to clubs like Middlesbrough and stuff like that. He's got a good record in the Championship, but he's one of them players that does well in the Championship but never gets his chance in the Premier League, if I'm thinking of the right person. And Ryan doesn't go back to school next week. Bamford is a permanent signing, says Archie Morey. Dan11 says get the guitar out. A bit early for that. Do I think Leeds will go up, says Kean? I do think Leeds are going to go up this year. Yeah, I do. Anthony Taylor, the ref. Bold. Hopefully the United stand gets 1 million subs by 2022, says Tyler. Look, you never know. You never know. Mark, would you like to take Traore for right wing and Tonali and Eriksen for the midfield? I'm happy to talk about transfers. I mean, not everyone's a United fan on here, so... Liverpool have obviously already done some business with Mina Mona or Mona Mina or Mina Mona, I can't remember, but who else is going to do some business? I expect Chelsea will do some. I think they're in a position of strength, but they need to bolster it a little bit. As a Chelsea fan, you'd be a bit annoyed if you didn't buy a player in January and then you let top four slip, so I think they will sign players. I'd be interested to see if Man City are going to do it. They might just wait till the summer, City, because when they get Laporte back, they can sort of focus on the Champions League, can't they? League title's over. They've probably got a good enough team to win the domestic cup. So City might wait till the summer. That's a good run here by Pepe. He's done really well. He's on a good run. All the way from his own half. Oh, and he's overrun it at the end. He's looking at some individual shit there. Lukaku has scored for Inter against Napoli, says Callum. What do you think of Tottenham and Jose, says Finlay Reynolds? Look, I think when you're negative about something, you can just come across as a bit of a moaner. And I think that with Mourinho... I like Mourinho now he's not at United, but at United, I couldn't listen to him. But whereas I will listen to Mourinho now because he's nothing to do with my club. Mistake here, pass out the back. Holding's had a really bad start. If he puts it into Bamford, and a good recovery tackle by Holding, but Leeds really should have scored there. Terrible pass out from the back. Ben Cannon, we're not going to read out silly comments about your bottom. It's disgusting. But yeah, bad pass out from the back. And it was a 3v2 situation here for Arsenal. And I think he played the wrong ball. He went for Bamford on the left, and I think he should have gone to the right. But it's a good recovery tackle. But I think he should have gone to the right there. I watched some of the Serie A today. Down 11. Ronaldo hat-trick. The GOAT. Cross comes in. Leeds have started off very well anyway. That's the key thing I was going to say. I can't remember what I was saying before that. Yeah, he's not had a very good start to this game, Holding, for Arsenal. But yeah, going back to Mourinho, I felt that Mourinho, as a Manchester United manager and as a Manchester United fan, I thought that he was finished at the top level. I think Mourinho, the way football is these days, you know, you've got to be a player, you've got to be a manager that can adapt to this fast pressing game, and I don't think Mourinho's defensive style really works. And the trouble with Jose Mourinho is, without question, he was one of the best managers the world's ever seen, and he's still playing, he's still managing, but he's not one of the world's best managers anymore. So he's a bit like he's a bit like a former good boxer, isn't it? He was just going around, you know, he can win a fight every now and again. Well, he can win a lot of fights, but he can't get back on top. So I think for Spurs, they're probably feeling a bit like United did when we got Mourinho. Oh, we're going to win titles and stuff. But he's not the same manager anymore. And I said when Spurs got him, I don't think it'll work out well. Ryan FTW, where do Flex do the fan cams at home games? Normally just on the bridge, just outside Hotel Football. Good game though, it's quite end to end at the moment. Very equal game after 8 minutes. Both teams passing it around quite well. And Leeds certainly giving as good as they're getting, as I said, twice. Where is Martinelli? Says Andrew Murfitt. I think he's on the bench. Yeah, he's on the bench. You got John Jules, Saka, Martinelli, Willock, Mavropanos, Ceballos and Leno. What's the story with Ceballos for Arsenal? What player he is, and what a player he was at the start when he first came along. Is he just coming back from injury? Because I really rate Ceballos. And I remember them first couple of games of the season. Arsenal fans were, oh yeah, he's gonna tear it up this season. What a player he is. I presume he's been injured because he's on the bench today. Ten minutes gone, 0-0. Best chance falling to Leeds, to be fair. Poor pass out the back from Holding, and they had a 3v2, found it to Bamford. Probably the wrong pass in all fairness, but Holding then got back to block it and it went out for a corner. But that was the best chance of the game so far. I don't rate Holding, I think he's bang average. But Leeds enjoying it. And why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they? Definitely the better of the play so far. Holding goes back to the keeper there. Good pressing from Leeds. I must admit I haven't seen a lot of Leeds this season. I know that Bielsa's a very good manager and he's done great things and they love him at Leeds. They absolutely love him. And they did well to keep him over the summer, to be fair. Cross coming in there, just too high. Leeds on the attack here, moving the ball around nicely. And Arsenal, for the first 10 minutes, I don't think their fans will be very happy with the way they've started, to be honest with you. But Arsenal will want to do well tonight. I mean, Arsenal have got a good history in the FA Cup, haven't they? Ars or United in 2 years, who's in a better position? Hard to say. Hard to say. I think it could get worse for United, to be honest with you, before it gets better. Arsenal on the break here, though. Driving run from the left-hand side. He needs a movement. He's going to go himself. What sort of crap ball's that? What sort of terrible ball's that from Xhaka? Awful. Actually, I actually did hear that Xhaka might be leaving this month, but seems to be doing all right. Was I ever a Wimbledon fan? Says Chadwick Moffat. God, no. Riley Lockwood says, I think De Gea started being bad when Ronaldo ruined him in the Euros. And David Salter, I can confirm the Christmas tree is down. The lights outside the front of the house are down. If you follow me on Instagram, you would know that anyway. At Goldbridge Mark. What is the best game of the next round of the FA Cup? Says Jordan Such. Ooh, I tell you what, Jordan. There's a question for you. I'd have to have a look at it. Let's have a look if they've listed it off for us. Yeah, they have. Okay, so you got Hull versus Chelsea. Watford or Tranmere versus Wolves or United. Hull versus Chelsea. Southampton versus Middlesbrough or Spurs. QPR versus Sheffield Wednesday. Bournemouth versus Arsenal or Leeds. Norwich Derby. Bradford Leicester. Millwall Sheffield United. Reading or Blackpool versus Cardiff or Carlisle. West Ham West Brom. Burnley Norwich. Bristol or Coventry versus Birmingham. Man City Fulham. Rochdale or Newcastle versus Oxford. Portsmouth Barnsley. Or Bristol or Shrewsbury versus Liverpool. To be honest with you, they're crap ties, aren't they, really? When you think that you had Liverpool-Everton in this round, Leeds-Arsenal and Man United-Wolves, there were 3 good ties. There's not really that many in the next round. Leeds are going to get a shot off. Oh, good save as well. Good shot by Leeds from the edge of the box, and the keeper makes a cracking save. Well worked by Leeds as well. Harrison with the shot, number 22, caught it well with his left foot. Keeper's, I say a good save by the keeper. It's straight down his neck, really, but he palms it away. Shashi Show says, don't you miss watching the game with your mates? I haven't got any mates. You're my mates, my virtual mates. No, but to be honest with you, like, what mates would I watch Arsenal versus Leeds with? I'm not an Arsenal fan, I'm not a Leeds fan. I'd just be sat watching this on the sofa like most people do. Or worse, say, let's go down the pub and watch it, which is not a good habit to get into, watching every football match you watch down the pub. It's bad for your wallet and your waistline. What's your view on FC United and Manchester, says Will B? I think the principles of it were good. Somewhat overshadowed. Whoa, what a run. Oh, he's at the bar. What a bit of play again by Leeds, carving them open, and he gets it back in the box and smashes it against the bar again. Another left foot shot, but it's worked really well. Really good passing from Leeds. I tell you what, Leeds play better stuff than United. Jesus Christ, what a side. Bamford that time. He's had 2 chances in this game and he looks handy. He looks handy. I'm well, Forzy. Hope you're doing well as well. What happened to Mad Marcus as Mashra Lamb? Nothing. I was speaking to him today, actually. He's absolutely fine. You say Leeds play better than United as if that's a hard thing, says Callum. He didn't say. He did use a H in the word thing. Yeah, no, but what I should have said was Leeds play better stuff than most of the Premier League. They play good stuff. I mean, then you can see Leeds coming up and being a decent. You can see Leeds coming up and doing what Wolves did, actually. Coming up and going straight into the top half. He's going to get booked for that, Xhaka. Surely you're going to book him for that, ref. Pulled his shirt. Bottled it, Taylor. Bottled it. Should have booked him there. I haven't seen West Brom, Tom Baldwin. I don't know what they're like. Another shot, another save by the keeper. It's all Leeds at the moment. It's all Leeds. Rimaldo says, I can't believe someone in the comments spelt Leeds Leads instead of Leds. Mate, don't pick on people's spelling. It amazes me because I get called a Forest fan a lot, right? But, you know, it's water off a duck's back. But what always actually irritates me about it is that people spell it Forrest. It's like, why are you spelling the name of a football club like you spell the name of a former goalkeeper for Ipswich? Like, have you ever been for a walk in the forest? Forest. Why are you spelling it with 2 R's? Why are you spelling it Forest? It's Forest. Forest. Like, but loads of people on Twitter, when they're calling me a Forest fan, they do it with 2 R's. It's really funny. I just don't get why they do that. Is there some country in the world that has double R as a place where there's loads of trees? Because I just don't get it. Is Bielsa better than Ollie? Is going around the live comments. Yeah, I think so. But he has got a very good reputation. To be honest with you, that's not disrespecting Ollie. I mean, Bielsa actually has got a CV in football. He you know, it's on the BBC. This is #1 Joker. But 20 minutes gone. Leeds the better team as far as I'm concerned. Don't know what you lot think. I have been to Telford before. Yeah, and Leeds are on the attack though. And Xhaka nearly heads it into his own goal. But it's gone for a corner. And Arsenal on the ropes at the moment. Unpopular opinion, Martial is lazy and crap, says Ben Cannon. Yeah, but Ben, you're the one who was talking about your arse a minute ago. So you're literally talking about out of it, aren't you? Cross comes in for Leeds. Headed away by Arsenal. And now Arsenal with a chance to break away. Again, missing the ball. And again, Bamford will get a free kick for that. Stayed on his feet anyway. And Xhaka has given a foul away. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new. That's football. Everybody is welcome on here. We did Liverpool-Everton yesterday. Obviously, we're doing Leeds-Arsenal tonight. And we're doing Carabao Cup, Grealish against Maddison on Wednesday night. Rumours that Maddison's about to sign a new contract at Leicester. I don't necessarily think that means anything. It probably just pushes his value up. Which is quite irritating if you're going to buy him. But, yeah, subscribe if you're new. Bottom right-hand corner. I don't know how many subscribers we got. We like to set a bit of a challenge on every show, see what we can do. Leeds have got a free kick here anyway, sort of left of the penalty box on the corner of it. He might shoot. He might whip it in. He's going to shoot. And the keeper had to spill it because there was one of them crosses that curls towards the keeper and he's got his eye on it and then it catches a little nick and he can't do anything about it. Caught a little nick there, but it was straight at him. But he fumbled it and it has gone for a corner. Leeds, very impressive in this game. Okay, I can tell you we're on 110,800. So we're only 200 subscribers away from 111,000. So please do subscribe. We should be able to hit that. That number will change tonight if it goes to 111 because it changes every 1,000. Bottom right-hand corner, please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. And if you have subscribed, please click the share button, which is underneath the video. And you can share it on Twitter and Facebook. Get some newbies in. Get them part of the community. That's what this channel's about. We just watch football. I mean, they probably have got Arsenal and Leeds fans in here. Let them stress. We just sit back and watch it. Mikel Arteta is doing well, I think, says Revilo2212 plays. I think that's a good point. And that's a good point. Do you think Arsenal have improved under Arteta? Because I think on that first 20 minutes, I don't see any improvement. I think they could be 2-0 down. Pep's managerial philosophy is based on conversations he's had with Marcelo Bielsa. Ollie's is based on conversations he had with Ronald McDonald. Nick P, not a fan of Ollie. Hello, Nick, and welcome. Just very quickly on Ollie, I think Ollie's here until May, and I think that is when he will be judged. And he may well be here next season, but I think that's what's going to happen with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Do you play Rocket League, says XIX Taylor. I tell you what, I really do like Rocket League. I just don't have the time to play it. I've got it on the PS4 somewhere. I just haven't played it. I bet I haven't played it in a year. Marky's a fan of Ollie at Mulder. Do you want him to go back? Or just when he was there? But Leeds, I tell you what about Leeds, they're a lot quicker to the ball than Arsenal. They're like really, really quick to the ball. They win a lot of second balls. And that's obviously, again, that's coaching again, isn't it? You look at Liverpool with their second or reserve team yesterday, playing, you know, if you, like I said, if you blurred your eyes a bit, you'd think it was Liverpool's first team because they played exactly the same way. And looking at Leeds tonight, you can see the tactical coaching that they've got. And I think that's something that we see more prevalently now across the lower divisions. I mean, I've seen teams like Rochdale come to United and play quite well because all across English football now, teams are feeling the benefits of proper coaching. And a lot of people feel that's something to do with Pep. I don't know whether it is or not, but there is a lot better coaching now. Lacazette's robbed the ball though. They've got a 2v2. He doesn't get the shot off. A bit selfish there from Lacazette, but Arsenal still have it. But yeah, I mean, you can see from Leeds that they're a well-coached side. They're good on the ball. Everyone knows where everybody is. They're well-positioned. Guendouzi's just done a foul there. And he's in. He's into the box. He's going to have a shot, and it's just wide. And I wonder if he's going to book Guendouzi. No, he's not. But Leeds, again, with a chance. I didn't think he was going to score from there, but he arrowed it across the goal from the left-hand side. Well onside. We have got VAR. I should be telling you the names of these players, actually, for Leeds, who are having these chances. It's very rude of me, because they have been very impressive. And that player there was... I don't know them myself. Alioski for Leeds with that chance there. Harrison and Bamford have also had shots too. Foul on Socrates there. I would like to see Bamford get in an Irish setup. He's a great player, says John Richardson. Is he Irish? That would help. Gemma Norman says, do you play Call of Duty? Do I play Call of Duty? I tell you what, I haven't played it in about 6 weeks. This is the problem with me. I'll get a game, I play it a lot, I get quite good at it, and then I just won't play it for a couple of weeks, and then I just won't think about playing it. I don't even know where my PS4 is at the moment. I had to tidy it all up for Christmas, and I've put it somewhere, and I don't know where it is. If only we played like Leeds at the Emirates a few days ago, says Jordan Search. Well, this is quite a strong Arsenal side, remember, as well. What did I do this afternoon? I had the Serie A on. I tell you what I was watching as well, the darts. And I tell you what, I know it's the BTEC darts tournament, the BDO. The good tournament was on over Christmas. But to be honest with you, it was hard to watch the darts. It's a great time to watch the darts over Christmas, but it's hard if you're busy with like family and stuff. Whereas this week, everyone's back at work. I can just put it on my desk while I'm working and watch it. So I've been watching a bit of the darts this afternoon. Mark, thoughts on the True Geordie's latest video? Personally thought it was great. Showed a different side to him, says Mr. A. I haven't watched it all yet. But he's a nice guy anyway. So if he's just reflecting who he is, I already know who that person is because he's messaged me a couple of times. We've had chats. He rang me up just before Christmas actually saying he was listening to Slade and it was just making him think of me. So I get on with Brian quite well. He's a nice guy. You know, everybody's got their ways. but it doesn't mean that they're far from means they're a bad person. I think these things make people who they are as well. So he's a good lad, Brian. So if you've watched it, fair play. I haven't watched it all yet, but I watched a lot of it last night. But it didn't tell me anything I didn't really know. Leeds. Mark, you're a little beanhead, aren't you? Grant is class, says Ben Cannon. Thanks for the contribution, but don't come back, Ben. I'm not putting up with that. I don't need to. Are you a house husband? Says Matty Crossingham. House husband. Do those things even allow? Are you even allowed to say that now? I feel that may be sexist towards men to be called a house husband. I think if you call somebody a housewife, I'm pretty sure you wouldn't be able to do that anymore. But not that I'd be offended by it. Leeds, another shot on target. I tell you what, if you like shots on target, Leeds have had bloody loads of them. Not really going to test the goalkeeper that time. Harrison again. But edge of the box, catches it on the half volley. Goes towards goal. Comfortable save for the keeper, to be fair. Michael Dunn says, no, it's not sexist because it's against men, so no one cares. I'll tell you what, I was talking to somebody last night, and they were saying, I wonder where all this equal rights will go if we do go to war and everyone gets called up, because by rights, women and men should be getting called up. But will women say, oh, I can't go to war because I'm a woman? I would hope not. They fought hard for their equal rights. So if I get called up for World War III, I expect every woman my age to get called up as well. Well, take a walk down Equality Street. That's what we do. So you'll be going to war with the rest of us. None of this stay at home. You fought for equal rights. Now you can fight with the men. Quick question. I'm not answering that, poor Rick. As Lil said, ladies first. But no, in all seriousness, I wonder how that would work in a modern... There won't be all these jokes on social media about World War III. One, why are people joking about it? I think people do joke when they get about serious things. So I've got no problem with that. But we're not going to be bloody down in the trenches or anything like that. For many reasons. For one, most of these big countries going to war have got weapons that will just wipe out half a country. You don't need to send people into bloody trenches. And two, we've got bloody robots for all that crap as well. There's drones that can just fly in and just kill somebody. So you don't need to send people to war anyway. And as somebody just said there, why not just send the over 70s? They've had a good life anyway. That would be, I'll tell you what, that's a war I want to watch. Albert going along on his Zimmer frame trying to get the opposition with his dodgy hip. That would be a war that we'd all want to watch on YouTube, wouldn't it? But I'm joking. Nobody wants to watch a war. Nobody wants there to be a war. And I'm sure there won't be. I think common sense will prevail, because the reality is a modern day war would be a bloody disaster, wouldn't it? Because the weapons that people have got would be terrifying. Nickel says that Harrison for Leeds is always in the right place at the right time. Connor Fahey says, why don't you go to the matches ever, Mark? But you've clearly not done your research there, because that's just that's as bad as spelling Forest with two R's, isn't it? Because it's well known that I've been to games, because there's fan cams and all sorts of evidence there. So that's not actually true. And everybody already knows the answer anyway, because I do watch-alongs for the United stand, and we normally have about 17,000 people watching. So if I don't go to a game, then we don't do a watch along, do we? So it's a comme si comme ça, as they say in the French. Dodoin. Chance for Arsenal, headed wide by David Luiz after half an hour. And Arsenal not really been in this game. They've been competitive, but you wouldn't think they were the better side. Jamie O'Neill says, can I have a pint with you? I'd love to have a pint. Rid Estawa Gosh says, I like full-time Devils. Somebody's got to. Please, somebody's got to. And Mark, would you be interested in any of these Leeds players, says Noah Brown? I don't know. I mean, look, Dan James is a prime example of a player in the Championship doing well who can come into the Premier League. But, a one-off game against Arsenal playing well. I've seen Brighton beat Arsenal and play them off the park at the Emirates. So, but I'm sure there are some Leeds players that will come into the Premier League and be really good. I mean, you look at McGinn at Villa, Grealish. There's plenty of players that can come into the Premier League and do well. I don't know. I'm still quite snobby about United players. Anyway, I just think we should be going for the best that's out there, that's available. I think we should be looking at the Bruno Fernandes of this world, the Ndidi of this world, the players that are proving themselves at the highest level, but are at a club where they need to go to a bigger club. I think that's what United should be looking at. Naeem Yassin says he's a Liverpool fan but wanted to know why Manchester United get so many injuries. Because our medical department's crap, mate. Doesn't get the mainstream media don't want to talk about it. I don't know why. They wanted to keep talking about Paul Pogba and what he had for breakfast, but they won't talk about the actual issues at Manchester United. They want to use us for crap stories about Maddison signing a new contract or wiping his arse, like I say, but the actual real reasons why United are struggling. This goes back to Sir Alex Ferguson's last 2 seasons, where we started picking up a lot of injuries around September, October time, and it's continued with Moyes, with Van Gaal, with Mourinho, and now Ollie. It's not to do with any individual manager. Mourinho actually came in and said the injury records at United are terrible. Look at my managerial. What a save! What a save! I don't know whether he was going to give a foul or not, but Arsenal goalkeeper deserves double time tonight. He's been well worked. Cross came in. I think it was Odioski who gets on the end of it, and it's a good save. Cross comes in, let's watch it. He gets up. It wasn't him who got on the end of it. It was an Arsenal defender, to be fair. But he still had to make the save. Just reading about Dan James saying that the biggest showboater at Manchester United is Anthony Martial. Yeah, but the injury thing at Manchester United, our medical department's been terrible for years, and for some reason it just doesn't get the exposure it should. Because if you get injuries, it derails any season, and we get them every single year. Opinion on City or Liverpool having the better squad. Was watching what troops on the biased Premier League show debating it, saying Jesus is better than Origi. I think he's right on that. Moxie, thanks for the contribution. I do think that Jesus is better than Origi, talent-wise. I think Origi works well for Liverpool, though, and some of the goals he's scored, bloody hell, he'll go down as a sort of cult hero for Liverpool, won't he? But I do think Jesus is the better player. I wouldn't deny that. How are Leeds not in front here? Again, they carve Arsenal open, and they're looking at getting a tap in, and they don't do it. Lacazette's dived there. I'm sorry. Get up. But who's got the better squad, Liverpool or City? I don't think either team's got massive amount of depth. If you look at it, Aguero gets injured, they can play Jesus. Sterling gets injured, they've got Sane. Silva gets injured, they've got Morez. So they have got depth there. De Bruyne gets injured, you've got Gundogan, you've got David Silva, Rodri, Fernandinho, Foden. At the back, Otamendi, Laporte, Stones. I suppose City have got the better depth on paper, I suppose. I mean, Liverpool don't really have that much depth beyond their front three, whereas City have got 6 players. I know they've had injuries, but they have got 6. So I think City have got the better depth, which only goes to show how well Liverpool have done. Frederick Farnholm says it's fun to watch Leeds. It is. They've played well. They've played really well. They deserve to be winning. And I tell you what, I bet they'd like to be going in front 1-0 at half time, because once Arteta gets these in at half time, he'll be giving them a right bollocking, I think. Do you think Leeds would take to the Premier League the way Wolves have, says Jordan Such. I don't know how long you've been watching, Jordan, but I did say that about 20 minutes ago. I can see Leeds doing a Wolves. I don't think they'll come in and go straight into the top 4. I think that's very, very difficult to do. But I think if you get promoted and you go in the top 10, that's exceptional, because the Premier League is hard to adjust to, and I think Wolves found that. In their first season, Wolves were very good against the top 6, but they struggled to beat the more established teams, you know, like the Burnleys, which is a hard trick to learn. So I think Leeds would do well. Lovely cross into the back, cleared by David Luiz. Another good shot. They're technically very good, Leeds, you know. I've been impressed with them. I think if as an Arsenal fan, I haven't got the audio on, but you'd surely be a bit pissed off. French Charlie Austin's not having a great game. You know what I mean? Lacazette. Mark, Leeds remind me of Leicester. If they got a few better players, they will finish in the top half, says Deepak Shura Kalamaniaran. I got your surname totally wrong there, didn't I? I do struggle with some of the names. George Gullock says, I want Leeds back in the Premier League. I agree with you. As a Manchester United fan, this might sound odd, but I want Leeds back in the Premier League because I actually want us to play. You know, I don't want us to have a Super League with all the best European clubs, but I'd love the Premier League to not have a weak team in it. You know, so I'd love to have 20 teams that are all around the same ability, because that would just make every single week great. I don't actually enjoy like Norwich at home at the weekend, because you think, well, we should win that 3-0, and it never bloody happens. And if it does happen, you're like, well, I expected it. And if it doesn't happen, it just annoys you. So at least if Leeds come up, that's 2 games next season that are really big games for United on top of all the other ones. So as I said, that's why I'm looking forward to Man City tomorrow. I'd rather be playing Man City than Villa or Leicester, because you want to play the hard games. So yeah, Leeds are a big rival, but I want them to come up. Dan11 says, keep the Instagram up, Mark. It's good. Yeah, I've started on it's my New Year's pledge really with the Instagram. I'm putting like 2 or 3 stories up a day, sort of behind the scenes. So yeah, I meant to do one in the loft earlier when I was putting the tree up, because that was quite a good location to do it. But maybe I can do that tomorrow, because I've still got to put the other tree up there. So at Goldbridge Mark on Instagram, give us a follow if you're on there. If Maguire is out tomorrow, who plays with Lindelof, says Sean Boone? Phil Jones. And Arsenal can't play 3 at the back, says Charlie. I'm not, you know what? I'm not a big fan. How did he miss that? That was another chance for Leeds. Cross to the front post. Good chance, put it over the bar. The press and will of Leeds is quite incredible, and they really play well. I'm impressed, says Tom Salvhoj. Can't wait for them to be back and play them at Old Trafford. But going back to what Charlie was saying about 3 at the back, I've seen a lot of teams playing 3 at the back. I saw Chelsea do it over Christmas. They were terrible. United have tried it. They were terrible. I just don't think it works. I think teams think, oh, let's play 3 at the back and it will make us really solid and the wing backs can get forward. But I actually just think it leads to confusion. How can Leeds play better than United, says Smith Jones? Coaching. What a ball. And that's a goal kick. The Leeds are getting like, they do everything right to the goal and then they don't score. Football Nerd says he doesn't like me. Well, piss off, mate. Go and watch EastEnders. Like, why are you watching a YouTube channel of somebody you don't like? I don't get this. I don't get this modern phenomenon of people watching something they don't like and then moaning about it. You want to try growing up with 3 channels. When I was a kid, you only had ITV, BBC Two and BBC One. That was it. Go onto your little bloody phone now, or your smart pad, or whatever they call it, and have a look at BBC One, BBC Two and ITV right now. And imagine that's your only choice. And there's no internet. and you know, you haven't been bought a Mega Drive, something like that. So imagine what we used to have to do as kids. I feel like, you know what I feel like now? I feel like when my parents used to say to me, we used to get an orange for Christmas, and you'd think, no, God, what did you used to have to go and catch your lunch for the cave as well? Like, but this is the truth. I never thought I'd have to say this, but yeah, when we were growing up, 3 bloody channels, BBC One, BBC Two, ITV. Oh no, and Channel 4. Boom! We've just been given another one. We had 4 channels. No internet. That was it. When we got Sky in the early 90s, I thought it was loaded. And you know what you used to get on Sky? 9 channels. That was what Sky's... You know, you paid bloody loads of money to get Sky, and you were like really well off if you got Sky. We weren't really well off because loads of people had them. Council houses were full of them. But a lot of people got Sky because it was like, oh, you can get a whole 9 channels. And the 9 channels were this. Sky 1 was number 1. I remember having the Sky remote control. You had 9 channels. 1 was Sky 1, funnily enough. Sky 2, number 2 was Sky News. Number 3 was Sky Movies. Number 4 was the movie channel. That was it. There was only 2 movie channels. Number 5, I think, was Sky Sports. Number 6 was Eurosport. Then you had Screen Sport. I think there was a lifestyle channel and the children's channel. That was it. 9 channels. When you got Sky in the early 90s, we thought that was it. It couldn't get any better than that. But you get people now watching this saying, I fucking hate you, Goldbridge. Like, this is a YouTube channel. There's probably 100,000 YouTube channels live right now. Plus all your bloody content you can get, porn, everything. So why watch? If you don't like it, don't watch. Simple as that, innit? Wouldn't swap it for the world, by the way. UK Gold. I don't know whether UK Gold, Sean Williams, was out when Sky first came out. Popeye says, I got orange for my lunch, but at least we had Sky TV. You were. I tell you what, I remember at school, you were well popular if you had Sky. Didn't matter how big your house was, how crap your clothes were. If you had Sky, you were like, can I come round your house? No. I'm watching roller. They used to have this thing on Screen Sport. I can't remember what it was. It was brilliant. I used to watch it on a Saturday afternoon. It was basically roll. You know, like the you know Chris Boardman cycling, where they have the cycling track. But it was a roller skating thing. There was one team on one side and one on the other. So instead of chasing each other on a bike, they started off on 2 teams roller skating, right? And they'd gradually catch them, and they had like a string, it's like a robe thing, you know, probably off a dressing gown, hanging off the back. You pulled it out, and if that got pulled out, you had to go off. Oh, it was brilliant because there'd be somebody on a team who was brilliant at roller skating, and some people were shit. So the slow ones would always get caught. But then you end up like 4v1, and sometimes they'd win. It was I don't know what happened to it. It was a brilliant game. Whatever happened. MTV was another one. John P. I think we need to bin something off that wasn't there. There was definitely only 9. Oh, here we go. The fun pleaser here. Parasharam S says, can you please talk more about the game? Do you think it's 4-0 and I've just gone on to a rant? Like, it's 0-0, mate. Which clubs needs to strengthen in January, Mark, says the Dugout Football Channel. I think Arsenal, Chelsea, United, Spurs. I mean, everybody needs to strengthen, don't they? Everybody does need to strengthen, to be honest with you. But Arsenal have not been good in. Let's go back to the game for a moment. Leeds very impressive. Can't believe it's 0-0, and it's about to be half time. They've been very, very good. They've been very, very good, Leeds, but it's 0-0. No points for being good. You got to put the ball in the back of the net. You got to put the ball in the back of. You got to put the ball in the onion bag, as they used to say. Used to buy onions in nets. You see, I think you still can. Dominated by Leeds, though. Bang. Wham bam, thank you, man. Lemsip. Oh, I'm feeling. I wasn't going to tell you what. I'd probably deserve a like on the video tonight because I wasn't going to do this tonight. I was like, oh, woke up this morning, felt terrible, sore throat. If you saw my Insta, you'd know. And I was like, oh, I'm not doing it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not doing it tonight. And then I just thought, you know what? I've said I'm going to do it. Let's do it. Woke up this morning and I'm feeling shite. Anyway, what's the best team you've ever seen, says Brentley Siddiqui? Without a shadow of a doubt, 99 United. I can't tell you how good it was. And obviously I'm biased because when your team's that good, you know, you love it. But they could beat anybody. And I think when people talk about this current Liverpool side or that Man City side, I always say this. Where in that Man City side is your Roy Keane or your John Terry or your Steven Gerrard? Now, there is no Liverpool team in my lifetime. Well, in Premier League era, the Liverpool team from the late 80s annoyed the crap out of me. And that team is probably, well, it was very, very good. So when Liverpool fans talk about, oh, is this the best team ever? I think, you're not that old, are you? Because they had some very good teams in the 70s and 80s. But they're a good team, this Liverpool team. But I think if you drop Gerrard into that midfield, they would probably be one of the best teams ever. Because I think, do they have that personality? Van Dijk's very good as a leader. But I think the difference that makes United's 99 better than any other team is that it had Roy Keane in it. And I think why Chelsea were quite good, especially around Mourinho's first couple of years, is because it had John Terry in it. So I think, for me, that's what lifts them above as well. I'll put a £5 bet on your prediction for tomorrow, says Tom. My prediction for tomorrow, United to win 3-1. That's what I said, 3-1 to United. Leeds will hope that Arsenal don't do what Liverpool did and come out strong in the second half, says Michael Dunn. In relation to this game, if I was Arsenal, I would be like, I'm worried. I'm worried. A bit like Everton fans will be feeling last night. They get their new manager, Ancelotti, very good manager, and you think, oh, we're on to something. And then you get comprehensively beaten by Liverpool reserves. And Arsenal tonight, Arteta, good result against United. I saw improvement with Arsenal defensively, definitely. And I think we've seen it sort of tonight. But then again, I think a lot of it's been, they've been carved open a lot by Leeds and they've done nothing going forward. And you look at Arsenal and you think, well, what are they actually missing tonight? I know Aubameyang's not there, but would Aubameyang have made any difference tonight? They've not really given him much service. And he's not even playing, of course. So I'd be a little bit worried if I was Arsenal because this Leeds team have dominated them at their place and played far better football. But, I mean, Arsenal are going to have to be patient. They're a work in progress. And what I've said about Arsenal, and I'll be fair here, you can get Arteta in and he might be a good manager, but he hasn't got the players. That Arsenal team is not good enough. They need a lot of players. It's like United. They need a lot of players. It doesn't matter who your manager is. You've got to have the players to play the system. And that Arsenal team needs ripping up and starting again. So they're being outplayed at the moment. Bloody hell, Mark, says Jay Singh, this just shows what good coaching can get you. Do you think we could play this brand of football under Ollie? No way, coaching is key. And I'm glad Jay has said that. Please do subscribe to the channel if you're new, bottom right hand corner. We're trying to get to 111,000 tonight and we're only about 100 away. That number will change to 111. That's football. We do watch alongs on here. Everybody's welcome. We're doing Leicester versus Villa on Wednesday night. Madison versus Grealish. So join us for that. Carabao Cup semi-final first leg. But lots going on this channel. Everybody's welcome. Arsenal defence needs major surgery, says Brentley. And Mark Lawrenson reminds me of Droopy the dog, says Mike Bean. But yeah, look, coaching is absolutely key, as Jay Singh said. It's 100% so important, and I think it gets thrown out there a lot. But I think United fans are really seeing it now. When we watched Liverpool yesterday, whoever was watching it with me, that was their reserve team, but they played the same as the first team because the coaching is absolutely philosophy right the way through that club. You look at Leeds tonight. Look at the way they're playing. Are their players on paper as good as Arsenal's? No. But the philosophy, the coaching, they're a team. And they're playing as a team. And everybody knows what they're doing. And they're outplaying Arsenal. That's coaching. Bielsa's a better coach than Arteta. Arteta may become a better... I'm not saying Arteta's going to be a failure. He's only just taken on the job and he hasn't got the right players. Bielsa's built that team over 2 years. Arteta may be able to do that. There is no quick fix. But the difference with Ollie is we still don't see any plan after a year. Bielsa at Leeds, Klopp at Liverpool, Lampard at Chelsea, Rodgers at Leicester. However long they've been there, you definitely saw in their first 12 months, and some of them haven't been there 12 months, the plan. They just needed to bring certain players in to get it better. And I think, it's going to be a time issue with Arteta. Personally, I don't really see much of an improvement in Arsenal yet, but I think they need such renovation as a squad, it could take time. And I think Arsenal fans need to be mature about that. If Arteta doesn't get the funds, and then a year's time, you're still playing like this, are you going to say Arteta out, or are you actually going to look at the players? And I've said this to Troops and DT. I said, you like some of these players too much because they follow you, or they've DM'd you, or whatever like that, or they've given your kid a shirt, whatever. That's all great stuff, but ultimately, some of these players that you love are the problem. They need to go. A manager can only do so much. And it's the same at United. Moxie says, did you see Ricky Gervais on the Golden Globes? Thought he was brilliant as always. He seems so in touch with reality, unlike most of Hollywood. I think Ricky Gervais is a very interesting character. I think he's a genius, really, in relation to comedy. He's very, very good. I love it when somebody says check Twitter. Like, why? Can you not tell us why we need to check Twitter? Dan11, did you watch Gavin and Stacey at Christmas? I did. I watched it the first time and I was kept getting interrupted on Christmas Day night. I was trying to eat my turkey sandwiches in the kitchen and everyone just kept coming in. So I watched it the next night and I improved it. I thought the end was a bit dodgy, but there you go. Gomez is England's best centre-back and the best young centre-back in world football, says Ibrahim Sharif. I'm a fan of Gomez. Look, I don't like saying this about rival clubs, but I think Gomez is a good player. I don't think he's the best centre-back in England, but he's probably knocking on the door. He needs to start playing regularly for Liverpool. Lukaku is bossing Napoli, says Hakeem James. Do you want Bielsa at United, says Christian Gillison. Do you understand the rivalry between United and Leeds? I don't think he would do it. Will Ireland get to the Euros, says Mike Oxmal. I don't know. See how I moved over your name there? Would Leeds beat United, says Stian Bunga? I would imagine so, don't you? I mean, Arsenal beat us last week, and I know Leeds aren't beating Arsenal, but they're giving them a good game, so they'd give United a good game, wouldn't they? David says, Mark, how am I holding the cup? It's in the palm of my hand. DT used to be in there, but I gave him a chance. Mark, 2 questions. Was there ever a point in Ronaldo's MU career where you lost hope in him as a talent? And did you hate him after the World Cup 2006? Whoa, blast from the past questions there. I'll get called a boomer. Right. Was there ever a point in Ronaldo's career where you lost hope in him as a talent? No. From his very first game that he came on against Bolton for his debut, you could see he had a talent, and I think everyone was always patient with him. It was far easier in them days when we weren't actually successful there. Actually, we were going through a bit of a rebuild then. United fans are very patient if people are talented. I think what we've been forced to do over the last 6 years is show patience with players that we ultimately know aren't good enough, because we know what's good enough. We haven't had anybody, like a Rooney or a Ronaldo for a long time. So yeah, I never lost patience with him. Did I hate him after the World Cup? I was very pissed off with him. But as soon as it was over and they got back and Rooney said there wasn't a problem, he just moved on. Jermaine Decray says, we should hire the Leeds coaching staff or kidnap them and bring them to Manchester United. Leeds' performance as a team is a direct result of proper coaching. I agree, and we've just been having that chat. Charlie Ellsmore says, I've just got myself a couple of tickets for the Manchester Derby tomorrow. I'm really excited, but I'm surprised how many tickets are available. Well, I tell you what it is. I think it's Christmas. It's not Christmas anymore, but I think people have spent a lot of money over Christmas. There's a lot of games, so it's probably the best opportunity you're going to get tickets for a Manchester Derby. Carabao Cup as well. But I think it will be a good game. I agree with yes, sir. He says Leeds should be at least 3-0 up. Yes, sir, I agree. Leeds will lose tonight after Arteta tweaks the formation, says Singashan. It's going to be very interesting in the second half to see how Arteta does tweak it, because they can't be as bad as they were in the first half. And can Leeds be as good as they were without scoring? Very impressed with Leeds. George Ramos says, Mark, do you hate Leeds United with passion like you do with Liverpool? Also, did you watch all the Home Alone movies in Christmas plus The Grinch? Look, we've got to move on from Christmas, George, but I will say this. I watched Home Alone about 4 times from late November to Christmas Eve. I watched Home Alone a couple of times. I don't watch anything after Home Alone 2 because they're shit. The Grinch was on. I don't think I sat and watched it all, but The Grinch was on. But I do this every year. You've got to start watching your Christmas TV in the middle of November because you think you've got ages of time and you haven't. I'm glad to say I watched the Father Ted Christmas special, the Office Christmas specials, the Gavin and Stacey Christmas specials, some of the Only Fools and Horses. But I didn't watch Polar Express. I always like to watch that. So yeah, there's some I didn't watch. Die Hard I watched, and I watched Die Hard 2. That's become a staple now. Arsenal really missed Torreira and we lack width, says Khalil Salal. I tell you what I would advise anybody to watch. Do watch The Movies That Made Us. It's a 4-part series on Netflix. And basically, it's like a 45-minute documentary on the making of the films that made us. And they talk to how it was made and everything like that. But the brilliant thing is the four episodes they've done, Home Alone, Die Hard, Ghostbusters and Dirty Dancing. I haven't watched the Ghostbusters and Die Hard ones, the Ghostbusters and Dirty Dancing ones, but the Die Hard and the Home Alone ones, they're really good. If you're interested in them films, they're really good to watch because Die Hard nearly didn't get made because they couldn't find a leading man and they weren't going to use Bruce Willis because he was a comedy actor, and Home Alone, that nearly didn't get made either. So they're both good watch. If you like those films, it's a really good series. I think it's called The Movies That Made Us on Netflix. Anyway, back to the football. Charlie Bass says, I'm going to the Norwich game, my first match without watching your live stream in a year. Thanks for all the content you put out. Doesn't go unnoticed. Charlie Bass, thank you. I think positivity around the United stand at the moment is really appreciated. There's a lot of lies being put out there, unfortunately. But to be honest with you, we've had this for 5 years. I'm only interested in the people who like our content. There's people who don't like it and have never liked it for their own reasons. So, whatever. You do your thing. If people watch it, great. If they don't, they don't. Goodfellas or Goodfather, says Nabs. Godfather, come on. Let's be educational here. Goodfellas is a good film, but Godfather is a God film. It's as simple as that. Godfather is it's just such a good film. Such a good film. I need to watch the Godfather trilogy again. In fact, that's the Godfather trilogy is a good trilogy to watch at this time of year. You're a bit low after I wouldn't say low, but Christmas is quite an excessive time, an exciting time. You're going to January, it's still dark at night. Yeah. Need to get back on that Godfather thing. That Godfather thing. So I do. Anyway, let's have a look how we're doing for subscribers. I'm surprised we haven't gone past 111,000 yet. Please do subscribe if you're new, bottom right hand corner. Our next watch along is going to be Leicester versus Villa on Wednesday night, Grealish versus Maddison. Join me for that one. But we're going to be doing, hopefully, I don't know when the Euros fixtures come out, but basically what we do on this channel, it's a general football channel. So you get I do put videos up about VAR or, topical stuff, Premier League preview, watch-alongs, do a bit of FIFA on here, Football Manager, but we always try and do a couple of watch-alongs a week. Champions League comes back, we'll be doing them then, Premier League as well. Last World Cup, we did every single game as a watch-along, so we will be doing it for the Euros. I just don't know when the fixtures are coming out. Okay, I know why we haven't hit 111,000 subscribers, because we're 50 short. So please subscribe if you're new. Bottom right-hand corner. Get involved with the community. Everybody is welcome on here. And share the video underneath if you have subscribed. Let's see if we can get 111,000 tonight. We're about to kick off the second half. Will Arsenal improve in this second half? They bloody better. And Arsenal will fancy this. I tell you what, that FA Cup ball, I got one for Seb, who's my little lad. And I got him one of the littler ones. You know, like the skill ones. They're good. They're good. They're good. They're good. Super chat. Mark, where do you get the energy to do this every day with our horrible, depressing team? Says Max Delatz. I don't know. Sometimes I just don't know. Fixtures are already out for the Euros, says Abdul Akhtar. Well, I'm going to have a look at that in the second half. We'll come back to that. So, what's going to happen in the second half, everybody? We are up and running. 30 seconds in. Will Arsenal improve? I think Arsenal have got to press higher up the pitch, to be honest with you. I think that's what they've got to do. I mean, it's easy to say, will Arsenal improve? What would I do if I was Arsenal? If you look at Leeds, they're winning a lot of second balls. They're pressing Arsenal high up the pitch. I think Arsenal need to sort of change their philosophy a bit, because they're trying to pass out the back and it ain't working. Although Nelson, has he got the speed to get a shot off? Good bit of skill. Oh, he's not. He could have gone down for a penalty there. He nearly got through one-on-one there, Reece Nelson. But good defensive play by Leeds. But that was better. That was bypassing the midfield. Little flick by Lacazette. And they crowded him out in the end. Where's Zayn Miassi tonight, says Mickey Moynihan. Oh, he's probably a bit poor after Christmas, isn't he, or something. But he might be at the game. You never know. Play by holding there. Would you consider a Carabao Cup, FA Cup and Europa League an outstanding season, says Brentley? I think for any club, you know, Arsenal could do that, United could do that. Yeah, I think that would be a good season. You get in the Champions League and you win 2 domestic trophies. I mean, the one thing I always say is that everybody's got aspirations as a football club, but when you think about it, there's not actually many trophies up for grabs, and a lot of the time, you know, a lot of teams don't win a trophy. So you think about this season: Chelsea, Leicester, Spurs, Arsenal, Man City, Liverpool, United. You know, how many clubs is that? 7? Well, they're not all going to win a trophy, are they? So, you know, I think if you won the Carabao Cup, the FA Cup and the Europa League, that would be a very good season, yeah. Are you worried after Liverpool's FA Cup draw, says K2 Edge? Liverpool treble is on, isn't it? This is what Everton let us down yesterday. Your channel is so good, it makes me very upset that you're not an Arsenal fan making content about Arsenal, says Nicholas Blackmore. Thank you. I do take that as a compliment. Maybe Robbie could just get me to do live stream watch-alongs for Arsenal games on AFTV and pay me 100 grand a show. But no, I'm not going to do that. You could probably afford it. The date and the year is wrong, Dev, Sonny. You've noticed it. It does need changing. As long as you don't think it is the 24th of August 2019, it's fine. Arsenal got a free kick right on the edge of the box here. Now, this is where Mesut Ozil should be stepping up. And Arsenal have started the second half better. And Maz says, why is Mourinho slowly killing my love for Spurs? I've not been bothered to watch the last 2 Premier League matches and I was sure Middlesbrough would have beat us, which they should have. I haven't watched Spurs under Mourinho over Christmas. I think the last time I watched Mourinho's Spurs play was United. So Somebody will say you did a watch along after that, and maybe I did, but that's what I mean. Forgettable experience. Skit says the weather is like August. Mate, I looked at the monthly forecast today. It gets warmer. I mean, we may as well just go into spring now. Like, there's just no cold weather. I'm worried. I mean, people keep telling me climate change isn't real. We don't get winters anymore. We just get rain. We don't get cold weather. Well, Ozil's not even on this free kick, which is odd. I thought this would have been... Why would Ozil not take this free kick? Because Lacazette did, and it clipped the top of the bar. But I would have thought Ozil there. Alexi's on the bench for Inter, says Thierry Mainrick. Is he just coming back from injury now then? Barca 2010 would beat Man United 99, says Conor Fahey. Nah, don't agree. They only beat United... Was it... What year was it we played at Wembley? Was that 2010-11? Well, they didn't smash us then, and that was a shite United team. So, no, not going to agree. Not going to agree with that. Yaza Kazimi says, I'd be disgusted if Bruno Fernandes ended up playing anywhere other than United. Prepare to be disgusted. He will move at some point, and I don't think it will be to United. Arsenal are much better in this first 5 minutes, everybody. And Lacazette with a good shot. And it's cleared. I tell you what, that would have been a FIFA penalty as well, because after the shot, he took a tackle. I hate it when FIFA does that, you know. You know, when somebody gets a shot away and then you catch them with an after tackle. That would have been a FIFA penalty there. But it never happens in real life. But FIFA have had that rule for ages. I'm talking about FIFA, the computer game here. That would have been a penalty on FIFA, but it never is in real life. But Arsenal definitely better in the second half. Arteta has changed it, and Arsenal are responding to that change. They're quicker, they're winning more second balls, they're getting more of the ball in Leeds' half. Whoa, that was good skill. Don't know why it wasn't a foul. Probably held on to it a little bit too much there. Guendouzi shoots wide. Well done. Good bit of play there from Arsenal. Matty Crossingham says it tears the season to be Ollie. It's the first time I've heard that, and Christmas is over now. Will there be another FIFA career mode episode, says Kanyani Ramarak. I think I should pick up and play FIFA again, but the trouble with January is, for a lot of people, you go back after Christmas and you just feel your way into it, and you're like, I can't believe how many weeks there are in January. What a drag. I'm on dry January. I'm on only eat bloody celery January, and January's a long month for a lot of people. But if you're in our game, like, January's hectic. Like, the transfer window, there's loads of games. It's going to fly by. So I don't know what I'm going to do about Football Manager and FIFA, because it might have to wait till February when all this dies down a bit. We'll see. We're only first day back, really, aren't we? Nelson into the box. Arsenal definitely better second half. Leeds struggling to get out at the moment. Xhaka should be booked there. What? This ref's awful. I don't know why he won't book anybody. I think he's left his cards at home. Crap ref. Cal Wildy says, my son's due this month. That's a lovely story, isn't it? I mean, that's nice if you've got a baby on the way in January. Enjoy Christmas and then have a kid. How's he not been booked, says Andrew Garland. No idea. The ref doesn't seem to want to book anyone. Oh, there's a pass there. He's going to shoot himself. Bit greedy there from Bamford. I think he should have gone wide, but again, Leeds getting a shot on target. I want to tell you something, actually. I want to tell you something. And what I'm going to tell you is this. Leeds have had 6 shots on target and 15 shots, and it's still 0-0. Interesting, isn't it? Some would say it's interesting. I also want to have a look at the Euros fixtures. Euro fixtures 2020. Here we go. So, they kick off on the 12th the reason I'm doing this is because I'm thinking about doing a lot of watch-alongs for the Euros in the summer. And people will say, why are you talking about that now? But it's brilliant. We did it for the World Cup and it was a really good community. Arsenal on the attack. 1-0. Yeah, Nelson. Bit of a mistake. It was coming. Arsenal take the lead. I can't believe it. They have been better in the second half, Arsenal, to be fair. But have they been the better team across the game? Not really. But they've bundled it in much better from Arsenal second half. And they lead 1-0. And Arteta will get the credit for it because he has changed things around in the second half. And Arsenal have responded. Driving run by Pepe. Slips Lacazette in. Cross comes in, tries to find Pepe, and the Leeds player inadvertently puts it into the path of Reece Nelson for a tap-in. Keeper a little bit lucky. Man on the line can't do anything about it. But it is what it is. It is 1-0 to Arsenal. Can Leeds respond, or have they shot their lot in the first half? Having said that, they had a good chance just before that, so... What will Arsenal do now, though? Will they soak up pressure or will they try and hit on the break? Remember, they were 1-0 up against Chelsea with 10 minutes to go and ended up losing 2-1. So it's not a game over yet, but it's a good point. It's a good goal for Arsenal. Come on, Leeds, says Rachel United. We love you, Everton. We do. Says Conor Fahy. I bet he's a Liverpool fan. Leeds goalkeeper's crap, says Hadaway. Things are falling apart for Leeds again, says CGC. It's going to be interesting to see how they respond to that, actually, because they've been the better team, but Arsenal have come out in the second half a lot better with a lot more energy. I mean, where was this energy in the first half from Arsenal? You've got to say. But Leeds are paying the price of not scoring in the first half. They absolutely dominated them. And Arsenal have been given a second chance and they've took it. And they're winning everything at the moment. Arsenal winning the tackles, the second balls, throw-ins. Nelson scored Eniola Raji for Arsenal. I don't support Salford, no, Christian. I've got no reason to support Salford. Like, in fact, the only non-league team I keep an eye on is Solihull Moors, because that's, I live in Solihull, so I do keep an eye on them. I'd like to see that they're in the National League. I'd like to see them get promoted. But Salford, I keep an eye on Salford, but I wouldn't say I'm a supporter of them. I mean, why would I be? Good interception there by Leeds, but he needs some support. He's got nobody with him. He's gone backwards to go forwards. Terrible shot. Are we at that stage with Leeds now where we say good team but awful at finishing? Anyway, let's go back to what we were going to do. I want to do watch-alongs for the Euros. We did it for the World Cup and it was brilliant. Sometimes there was 3 games a day and it was good fun. So let's have a look at the fixtures for the Euros. They kick off on the 12th of June. Got Turkey versus Italy, which I presume is probably a Friday, so we'd probably do that. And then on the next day, you've got Wales, Switzerland at 2 o'clock, Denmark, Finland at 5 o'clock, and then Belgium, Russia at 8 o'clock. Day after that, England, Croatia at 2 o'clock, Austria versus to be confirmed at 5 o'clock, and Netherlands, Ukraine at 8 o'clock. And then to be confirmed, Czech Republic, play somebody. So there's 3 games a day. There's 3 games a day for the first few. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. We'll do watch-alongs for every game. Why not? Subscribe. Look forward to that in the summer. And I tell you what, do look forward to that. Do look forward to it, because I was saying this to Brian, True Geordie, on the kickoff when I was on the other day, that this is the last summer tournament for 4 years, because next summer there's no tournament. The summer after that, when it's the World Cup, it's in winter, and then the summer after that there's no tournament. So the next summer tournament will be the Euros in 4 years' time. Sad, isn't it? We're gonna have 3 summers in a row with no major tournament. It's really sad. So you've got to enjoy this one. EZ Turbott's a Wrexham fan. Mark, with all this negative news with Trump and Australia fires, it's a nice escape when we can just chill with you and not get angry, says Red Baron. Well, I'm glad people are doing that, and I'm glad people are using this channel and community for what it is. It was never intended to be this sort of a channel, but it sort of grew out of that, and it's nice that we get people of different clubs getting involved, and it works. So good. Banter's good in football. Abuse, no, we don't need any of that. Acocks Green is near Solihull Park. In fact, I used to live in Acocks Green, and where I used to live, if you crossed the road, you were in Solihull. So there you go. It is very close to it. Gospel Lane. Hey Mark, do you think Man United can win a trophy this year? Says Devinder Pal. Well, look, why be exclusive to Manchester United? Do you think that Spurs can win a trophy? Arsenal can win a trophy? Arsenal all over Leeds now. I think that United are going to struggle to get past City over 2 legs, so I don't think they'll win the Carabao Cup. I think City will win the Carabao Cup. In the FA Cup, I think at some point you're going to have to beat Liverpool or City to win that, because they're both going to take that seriously. So I think the domestic trophies are probably going to be taken by City or Liverpool in the FA Cup. Europa League, I think, is United's best chance, and I think it's Arsenal's best chance as well. I said I think it'll be a United-Arsenal final in the Europa League. A lot of people don't think that's the case, but I watch a lot of Serie A. I should have it on a t-shirt. And the league is slower than the Premier League. I still think the Premier League, as bad as it has been this year, is the best league in Europe. So I think that the Champions League will probably be contested by English clubs again, and I think the Europa League will be as well. So I think United and Arsenal's best chance of a trophy is probably the trophy they want to win the most, because it gets them in the Champions League. Sean Atwood says, did you watch True Geordie's video? Sad how some people will treat others, but glad to see him pulling through it. I haven't watched it all yet, Sean. But he's a nice bloke. I said that in the first half. He is a nice bloke. A good part of the Aussie fires is due to arson, says Bio20. And Red Baron says, Mark, I disagree with you about wanting Leeds in the Prem. I remember really disliking them and their horrible tackles. There you go. Well, a lot of United fans hate Leeds and wouldn't want them up. Cloud Chapters, how would you rate Lacazette as a player? Well, if I told you I call him the French Charlie Austin, then that pretty much tells you how good I think Lacazette is. But Arsenal have been a lot more tenacious in the tackle this half. Really, I mean, they're giving a lot more fouls away, winning a lot more second balls, and that's kept Leeds in the own half a lot more. Xhaka has... Greenwood 54, I agree. I think Jack has made about 4 yellow card challenges, and I don't think he's even been booked yet. Be good if Leeds could get a goal back though. I think they deserve one. I think it's been a good second half by Arsenal, but Leeds deserve one in the first half. Stephen Dyak's right. This ref just doesn't want to book people. And Merlin Konu says it's a real possibility that Liverpool could do an unbeaten treble, which would trump both Liverpool and both Arsenal and United. What's your streaming setup, software and hardware? Says Matt Hayes, Tottenham blog. That's a weird question. Streaming setup. Well, I use XSplit. and I just do it off a laptop, which is a ROG gaming laptop. So with a webcam and a Rode microphone. So that's pretty much it, really. Arsenal on the attack again. They're looking like the more likely team to score at the moment. Lacazette, he should score. No. I think he wanted a bit of a penalty there, but he played on. That's one of them ones where I feel for Lacazette there, because I think that's one of those ones where he tried to be honest and stay on his feet, and I think if he goes down, he gets a pen. And I do think that those should be reviewed. When you try and stay on your feet when you've been fouled, they should go back and give a penalty, but they never do. It's called advantage. Come on, you Gunners, says Zayn Miassi. He's in the house. He's in the house. Imagine if both Leeds and Millwall come up, says Flip Flop Fan. How well are they doing? How well are Millwall doing? S. Rasul, I'm not going to read out your comment because it's filth and there'd be no money. Millwall won't go up, said Ryan Moss. Smith Jones says, can you start watching more matches with coaches on Ollie's level? We need to see that Ollie is at least better than someone tactically as United fans. Yeah, we're going to do Field versus Solihull Moors next Saturday. Zayn Miassi says goal. He's a little bit late. He's probably been down gym or something. Reece Nelson's coming on off for the last 24 minutes, and I think they're going to bring on I would imagine they'll bring Saka on, to be honest with you, but I'm not too sure. No, Martinelli. Good player, Martinelli. He's a good player. Please subscribe if you're new. We've gone past 111,000 subscribers tonight, which is fantastic. Keep getting involved in the community. Bottom right hand corner to do that. Subscribe, get involved. Next watch along. We don't just do watch alongs on here. I had my little rant about VAR. We talk about topical comments like manager appointments, teams, those sort of things. You'll see. But we are going to do Leicester versus Aston Villa on Wednesday night, which I'm looking forward to. First leg of the Carabao Cup, Maddison versus Grealish. Looking forward to that. And Kofi Plays T has just subscribed. Welcome, mate. Who's playing better right now? Says Tacklon's Poker. Arsenal. Second half, Arsenal have been the better team. First half, Leeds played him off the park, but just couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. Second half, Arsenal have been the better team. I've got to be honest with you. Well, Leicester should beat Villa. They smashed them at Villa Park in the league just before Christmas. So, Jacob says Grealish over Maddison any day of the week. Gemma Norman says, do you think Arsenal? And then doesn't say anything. Zayn Miassi's in the house. He's made a ridiculous contribution again. Mark, I saw Star Wars at the IMAX. Do you think Luke would have been a Gooner or a United fan? Crazy. Absolutely crazy. I've got no answer to that. Luke Skywalker, United or Arsenal fan? I don't know. United. Freddie Play says, you're my favourite YouTuber. Thanks, pal. Will Going for Goldbridge be back? I don't know. I do want to do it, but as I said, you come back from Christmas and you're like, oh, in this industry, it's very hard to come back from Christmas and say, this year I'm going to do this, because you just go straight into such a busy time that February you want to break, because you got the transfer news and so transfer window open and so many games. It's exhausting. It's hard to start doing stuff. Cross comes in. Arsenal are winning all the second balls again now. Arsenal looking comfortable with 20 minutes to go. Brentley says, Aguero last minute goal or City smashing us at 6-1 at home. What's your worst experience? Oh no, nothing. We weren't even playing Man City. They were playing QPR, but nothing compares to that Aguero goal. I remember that day vividly, and I was like, we were playing Sunderland, they were playing QPR at home. I was all set. The thing is, I was more happier in the morning with what was going to happen, because I thought Man City are going to beat QPR, they're going to win the title, and I'd come to terms with that. And then I think QPR were 1-0 up in the second half, and I kept saying to myself, don't watch it. Man City are going to equalise and win. It's just pulling you into a false sense of security. And with about 20 minutes to go, I turned it on. QPR are winning 1-0. City need to win the title, so even a draw, we won the title. And it gets all the way past the 90th minute, and QPR are winning 1-0, and I'm like, we're going to win the league. They've bloody blown it. And they scored 2 in extra time. And it was one of the hardest things I've ever watched. So, Klasnic has just been booked. I turned the telly off after Aguero scored, and I didn't watch Sky Sports or anything for a month. I don't know whether there was a major tournament that summer, but yeah, I was horrible. And they were winning 2-1, not 1-0. Well, there you go. I'm not going to bloody remember that, because it was. I've tried to forget it, but they were winning. I remember that. And didn't Joey Barton get sent off as well? QPR were down to 10 men, I think. I'm sure Joey Barton got sent off as well. I'll never forgive Mark Hughes. Because they scored the equaliser with 2 minutes left, but 2 minutes into injury time. And Mark Hughes, QPR were trying to stay up, and Mark Hughes came to the edge of the line and said, calm down, we're safe. And they went and scored straight away. Here's a good question. If United don't sign any midfielders in January, is top 4 gone? Says Oase Safta. I mean, some would say top 4's gone already. But yeah, if they don't sign any midfielders, they're gone. Leeds just had a free kick that went over the bar, but it was quite a long way out. They're nowhere near as dominant as they were in. Well, they're nowhere near as good as they were in the first half. Is the short answer. I wonder if Leeds are just a bit tired this second half. I think a little bit of it's to do with Arsenal have had a tactical telling off at half time. But lovely. I mean, this is impressive by Leeds. Playing out from the back. Nice little ball there. David Luiz does well. Oscar Powers says, Rob Holding went to my primary school, Mark, and he came in to give an inspirational speech. So when you're going into your school to do an inspirational speech and sign the picture of you in the hall, says Oscar Powers. I'd happily go to my school. I know some people who are from that school, and they tweet me sometimes. So I've not had an invite. Knobheads. They never gave me my record of achievement when I left as well, because I'd had a couple of library books that I'd lost. I said I've lost them. They said we'll pay for it. I said no. Didn't get my record of achievement. So there you go. They won't ask me. And Arsenal, ooh, is that going to be a corner? Martinelli. Oh, God, I'm tired. Just watching this back. VAR. Well, Lacazette might be getting a red card here. He might be getting a red card here. What? How is that not a red card for VAR? Mark, what regrets do you have in life, says Bilal Hassan. Regrets don't work. How is that not a red card? Am I the only one who can't believe that? How is that? How does VAR not send off? I've got to tweet that. He bloody kicks him. It's obvious. I just lurches from one knobhead decision to another one. If you're gonna have something, use it. I mean, look, I'm not being anti-Arsenal here, but David Beckham got sent off in the World Cup in '98 for exactly that, kicking out, and he couldn't even see where Simeone was. It was just a little kick out. Like, Lacazette kicks the player there. It's soft, but it's violent conduct. He's got to go. I just don't get it. He didn't even book him either. I mean, it's not aggressive, says Hadway. Oh, so you can kick somebody now. So if I'm walking down the street tomorrow and somebody kicks me and trips me up, and I turn around and say, I'm calling the police, they go, it wasn't aggressive. I meant to do it, but it wasn't aggression. I mean, the intent's there. I'm sorry. I mean, yeah, Son got bloody... Yeah, I don't understand that. No, Beckham didn't get a second yellow. He got a straight red, Matthew. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me about what Beckham's red card, because I argued with people for years about that. He got a straight red. The ref's been crap tonight anyway. Look, Arsenal deserve to be winning second half. I'm not going to lie. Leeds have been wasteful in the first half, but I just get confused by VAR because it's just so inconsistent. Yeah, I mean, as I just tweeted it actually, I'm not moaning about like oh bloody hell, Arsenal are winning and they should have had a red card. That's not what I'm moaning about. I'm moaning about VAR. It confuses me. Eric Shun says he's an Arsenal fan but love your content. Cheers, pal. Star Wars last night and Arsenal tonight. What a start to 2020. Red Army, says Amy Assey. This is a good result for Arsenal. Very good result because Arsenal Leeds have been really good. So I think the ref's been a joke. He's crap. But Arsenal are all over Leeds at the moment. A lot of people saying Arsenal in the live comments. Can't wait for the Euro coverage, Mark. Get in, says Alvin Blocks. Yeah, we will be doing watch-alongs for all the Euro games on this channel. I'm sure a lot of people will be doing them as well, but this channel we will be doing them. So make sure you subscribe if you're new, bottom right hand corner. First half definitely Leeds, second half definitely Arsenal's, and Arsenal have took their chance. You didn't say my name fast enough, says Eric Shun. I know, because I'm clever. I know exactly what you're trying to do. Who was United's crappiest signing last decade, says Brentley. Last decade? Flip Flop fan says, Zane, stop it. It's not Monopoly money, it's real. God, United's worst signing of the last decade. Fellaini for me. That's just... I know there's probably been worse, but for me, that was the one that I despised the most, Fellaini. I just didn't want it to happen. Jesse Lingard says Alvin Blocks. Yeah, well, we didn't pay any money for him. He came through the youth, didn't he? But yeah, I really detested the signings of Matic and Fellaini. So it would have to be one of those two. And I'm sure there are worse, but they you can only be honest to yourself. I think Simeone got booked, Matty Nielsen. He was saying that Beckham got a second yellow in the 98 World Cup. It was definitely a straight red. Couldn't believe it. But I think Simeone might have got a yellow for the foul, because it was a bad foul on him. That's why he kicked out. Leeds on the attack here. Corner. Freddie Plays says, I'm a Norwich fan and you'll beat us. Oh yeah, I mean I've already highlighted that United are going to lose some games this month, but they won't lose enough for any major decision to be made about sacking. We'll probably, if we lose tomorrow, we'll beat Norwich on Saturday. We'll probably beat Wolves in the Cup. Then we'll lose to Liverpool. Then we'll beat Burnley. Then we'll get beat by Man City. We'll win one, lose one, win one, lose one this month, I think, at worst. Jazza says, Mark, do you think VAR should have a panel of 50 people who vote on a decision, and if a decision gets 45-5, then the 5 get sacked for bias? I think VAR is shit, to be honest with you. Corner cleared by Arsenal. 10 minutes to go. I don't think Leeds are going to get back in this. I think Arsenal have done enough. They've played very well, though, Leeds. I've got to be fair. I've got to be honest, not fair. But second half, Arsenal have been much improved. Zane says, Mark, is your London team Spurs, as you like watching them a lot? Life's too short to waste your time on them. Convert to the light side and become a gooner. For too long, you've followed the dark side of the force. I think you'll find, Zane, actually, there has been times when I've been doing That's Football where I've watched a lot of Spurs games, but that's mainly because they normally are in a decent Champions League group. But if you look over the last month on this channel, I'll guarantee you that the team we've watched the most is Arsenal, because I've done Arsenal-Everton, we did Arsenal-Brighton, we did Arsenal-Man City, we're doing Arsenal-Leeds. So I think we've watched a lot of Arsenal over the last month, to be honest. Thinking about doing Spurs-Liverpool on Saturday, although I think Liverpool will win that. Might be a good game, though. Ad says, Mark, you're on crack. Phil Jones is the worst player we've ever had. We bought him in the last decade. When did we buy Phil Jones? Did we buy him like 2011? Was it before that? Jonathan says, do you like the darts, Mark? I have been watching the BDO darts on Eurosport, only because it's just easy to watch while I'm working. I know it's the BTEC tournament, but I have been watching it a bit. The winner of it last year has left, hasn't he? The last 2 years. Is it Ian Durant? He's won it the last 2 years, but he doesn't even play in the BDO now. They all leave to go to the other one. It's a bit like going from the Championship to the Premier League, isn't it? Sanchez was a shit signing. He was, but for me, I've got to be personal and say Fellaini. Glenn Durant, thank you. A lot of darts fans in here. Amar Sharaf says, what do you think of Leeds, and if they get promoted, will they do well? Well, What do you think of Leeds, everybody? We've all been watching the game. I've been very impressed with Leeds. I think that they will come up, and I think if they do come up, they'll do well. I could see them. I would say now, if Leeds get promoted, they'll finish in the top half next season. Yeah. Robert Alvarez, are you considering security for the boys on the fan cams? I'm still pissed off about what happened at the weekend. Sorted, mate. You know, it's sorted. We've got all that sorted. Don't worry. The ref's given a card, says Flex47. Yeah, to a Leeds player. Five minutes to go. I think Arsenal are going to be in the next round. I can't remember who do Arsenal get in the next round. Who do they get in the next round? Let's have a quick look. Somebody's going to shout it before I even bloody see it, but there you go. Away to Bournemouth. Could be good. That's probably the tie of the round. Bournemouth Arsenal now. Everyone's saying it. I don't think we've got much of a delay today, have we, with the stream? It seems to be very quick responses. If I said to you, what comes after the number 4? Yeah, there's only about a 4-second delay. It's fast today. Sometimes it can be like 20-30 seconds, which is crap. It's all kicking off a bit between Arsenal and Leeds here. Socrates on the floor. Oh, there was a bit of a kick. Oh no. So there's nothing going on really. It's like there's nothing in that. Yeah, nothing in that. Mark, Leeds fans are racist. We don't want them in the Premier League. Long live Nelson Mandela and down with Donald Trump, says Zimiasi. You can't say that about a whole fan base, Zane. There's no way. You know, I think when you look at racist incidents, Manchester United are top of the league in the Premier League for how many there's been. So, and look, I'm a Manchester United fan. There's thousands of United fans. You can't say that a club. It's like when people say Chelsea are racist because they've had, you know, them things on the train and stuff like that, and the Pratt in the thing. They're checking a possible red card now. Now, if they give a red card for this, for what? No. Don't you agree all the targets United are linked to Poch targeted at Spurs? Very similar to the Van Gaal situation, says Extra E. Well, if we bought Bruno Fernandes, we all know that Poch wanted him. So, yeah, I'm all for that. That's not a red. If they give a red card for that, no, they haven't. Odd. VAR's a joke sometimes, and the ref's a joke as well. I don't know how Lacazette didn't get a red card. I know it would have been soft, but he did kick him. Like, he literally kicked him. So, I don't know. Weird. Who do I think is going to get promoted? I think West Brom and Leeds will go up. They're easily the two best teams in the Championship. And I actually will honestly say I hope Forest get promoted, because they are a traditionally club that was in the top division when I was growing up. It is where I'm from. I've got family members who, you know, go and watch them regularly. So I would like to see them back in the Premier League. If not them, I'd like to see Sheffield Wednesday. They're a club that's been out of the league for too long, who are a big club. Yeah, I think we've had this period of the Bournemouths and the Burnleys, the novelties, the Barnsleys. We've had many years of these Brightons. They all begin with B, don't they? Small grounds. I want big clubs back in the Premier League, the traditional big clubs. Mark, I'm having a huge birthday party in November. You and Flex are welcome to come and party, says Zane. Well, you did invite me to the last one, so I'll definitely try and plan it better this time. Can Leeds get an attack in here? He's not offside there. I don't know why David Luiz has got his arm up into the box and he's given a goal kick away. Leeds, I feel tonight, Leeds, final ball, terrible. Absolutely fair. Fair play to Arsenal. Just not quality. That's something for Leeds to work on. Quality in the final third, because they've been. I feel over the 90 minutes they've been very good. Opinion on Lingard switching agents to Mino, says Fian McCabe. I think it's really weird. I think it's really, really weird. Because Raiola openly doesn't like United. United openly don't like Raiola. So why would Lingard, who's not been doing well for United, go and sign up with an agent that's not going to make him very popular? But, you know. Yeah, we've done that one from Fian. Free kick to Arsenal, I think, on the edge of the box here. Yeah. He wants a move, says Tony One Kenobi. Look, if Lingard wants to move, I think we'll all go and help him. Don't bother employing any delivery, removal men or women. We'll all go and do it as a freebie out of the goodness of our heart. And so if Lingard wants to go, he can go. I'm a firm believer that if a player wants to go, you should let them go. I think we should have let Pogba go last time. Has Lingard played on loan with Leicester, says Shane Rooney. He was on loan at Leicester. He was also on loan at Birmingham. I think he scored 4 goals on his debut, actually. 5 minutes added on here. Nathan Kerr, thanks for the contribution, Nate. Thanks everyone for tuning in tonight. Good result for Arsenal. Leeds impressive, but Arsenal will progress by the looks of it. We are going to be doing a watch along on Wednesday night, so join us for that, which is Leicester versus Villa, Maddison versus Grealish. And if you're interested in the Manchester derby tomorrow, of course, that will be on the United Stand channel. We'll be live tomorrow night for the first leg of Man United versus Man City. I've got a feeling United are going to win that. I think Pep's plan A will not be able to counter Ollie's only plan A, which is counter-attacking football. Leeds are bottle jobs, says JT Music FT. Well, that's been the story of the 2 watch-alongs we've done, really. I mean, Everton first team can't beat Liverpool reserves, bottle jobs. And then Leeds against Arsenal. I mean, it's a very good win for Arsenal, because I think Leeds will come out of it and think, whoa, whacking one, Mark. High five. Amazing performance, says Charlie Welsh. Yeah, he deserved that Golden Globe, Joaquin Phoenix. What a performance. What a performance. To all United fans, it's the rise of Arsenal. We're back, says Zayn Miassi. And How was the game? Says 4-6. I think it's a good game. It would have been better if Leeds had took some of their chances. I think it ultimately 1-0 is a bit of a crap reflection of the game, really. I think there should have been more goals in it, but Leeds again in a position where they could have won a corner, they give away a goal kick. So I think that's going to be it, everybody. Andrew Garland says they'll be saying on AFTV where we can see a difference. I think the honest assessment would be Arsenal. I saw no improvements in the first half. They were played off the park by Leeds. Second half, they definitely improved and they were the better team in the second half. But not as much as Leeds were the better. I thought Leeds dominated Arsenal in the first half. I think in the second half, Arsenal the better team. They played high up the pitch. They pressed. They won the second balls. But it was more of a 60-40 game in favour of Arsenal, whereas in the first half it was like 80-20 in the favour of Leeds. But you can't knock it. Arsenal deserved to win it. VAR I think has had a stinker again. Nothing against Arsenal, but I think when you review a red card and it shows the player kicking somebody, at what point is that not at least a yellow card? It's not. It's illegal. He's kicked him. So I don't know what that was all about. I don't know whether it would have changed the course of the game. That's more of a VAR mode, and I hate VAR, as people know. So, yeah. But ref's about to blow up anyway. Who's going to win the FA Cup? Well, I think City, Liverpool are favourites because they're in it. Thanks everyone for watching. That is full time. So we'll be back on here for Leicester versus Villa on Wednesday night. Make sure you subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you on then. And tomorrow it's all about the United stand. We'll be doing Manchester Derby. I'll see you then. Thanks for watching. Really enjoyed it. Another great watch along. Another bit of banter. You're all very welcome. I'll speak to you soon.